Hey guys, my name is Rhea and welcome to a very special episode and very special series on my channel. The name of the game is Magnum P.I and Hawaii 5.0 save file. Now, I've been toying around with the idea of creating a save file for, I do believe, 4 or 5 months now, and what I did is I shared that idea with my best friend, and she full-on supported the idea of making a Hawaii 5.0 and Magnum P.I save file. So what that entails is I will try, with her help as well, I will try to recreate all of the most iconic locations from both series. I should also mention that both series include the reboots only, so Magnum P.I from 2018 and Hawaii 5.0 from 2010, going on for 10 seasons, while Magnum P.I is about to start its 4th. Now, over on here, you are watching the very first speed build, and I've decided to just go with Robin's Nest from the Magnum P.I reboot. Now, Robin's Nest does exist on Hawaii, and it's called actually Banyan House. I will leave the link to their website down in the description. Strictly because their gallery is what I am using to recreate the entire floor plan of the house, and as you can see, it is very giant. I've also built this with the grid on, strictly because I wanted to see whether or not I would get the measurements right, and so far so good. You will see a couple of things that are not going so well for me in this first part, but I will fix them in the second part. Mostly applies to the glass roofing that will be later on in this video. But as you can see, I'm building without the ceiling, strictly because I wanted to have as much light in the rooms as possible. The layout of the house is kind of complicated in its own right, actually, because it has, I do believe, 9 or 10 bedrooms in total. I think 8 guest bedrooms and just 1 master bedroom that's upstairs. It has a pool, it has several living rooms, an office area. Obviously, the Robin's Nest from the show has the guest house as well, where Magnum is living. I will try to squeeze it into this build itself, but if I'm not successful with it, I will make it a separate build. So I do believe I'm currently trying to build the main living area as well as the kitchen, and I'm kind of wrapping up the first floor of the house itself. It's kind of tricky to work with houses like these because obviously Sims has restrictions. There's certain things that you can do in real life and obviously not in The Sims. But yeah, I am doing my best. I'm trying my best as well. It's one of the, I think it's one of my biggest, if not the biggest build I've ever done in a speed build, or generally just building it, because I tend to build small houses and recently honeycombs as well, if you've been following what I've been posting on my channel. But yeah, the house itself is really weird in shape, but it has its like small quirks. That's basically what makes the house stand out. It has this like kind of some oriental inspired things. There's obviously a lot of Hawaiian things as well, and if you notice, I did skip me putting up every single ceiling on every single room, because there's just so many small little rooms that act either as a walk-in closet or just a storage area, and I really didn't want to put you through having to endure this. Now over on here, I'm trying to rebuild the upstairs where the master bedroom and master bathroom are to the best of my ability, and it's how can I put it? The stairs are what makes my life difficult building this thing, as well as the wall height, because I know I will later on have to work with platforms and it's going to be an absolute pain working with them. And it's just, I want to keep it on medium wall height. The problem is if I put it on medium wall height, nothing will actually fit. Everything will be too tall for the windows that are actually included in the real build. And so I have to work my way around with platforms eventually in this build while using the lowest wall height possible. And as you can see, yeah, the stairs are what's giving me nightmares so far, because there's like a small stairwell area that goes directly into the master bedroom, and then later on it's all connected to this kind of, I do believe, office area / walk-in closet. And yeah, again here with the stairs, just a complete nightmare. And I did realize at some point that I didn't really measure everything out correctly as I wanted to, but I do want to not overcomplicate things, and I think I just left the stairs as they are, maybe scooted them. Yeah, I eventually did scoot them. I see now. But yeah, something more to the actual Hawaiiverse save file. I will call it Hawaiiverse because it is actually the shows are connected with each other. It's Magnum P.I, Hawaii 5.0. Now most recently added is NCIS Hawaii, and generally the whole NCIS franchise, as well as MacGyver. They are all connected and they are all based in the same universe. That's why I call it Hawaiiverse. So what I want to do with that save file is I want to recreate some of the most iconic buildings featured in currently only Hawaii 5.0 and Magnum P.I, because those are the shows that I am most familiar with and that I watched every single one of them. So that's my go-to preference for now. Maybe in the long run I will include things from MacGyver and from NCIS Hawaii, but for now let's focus on these two shows. So basically what I want to do, I want to recreate everything that's kind of iconic in location wise at least. So it's Robin's Nest, which speed build you are currently watching. I also want to make McGarrett's house, most likely Danny Williams's house, the palace that acts as the Hawaii 5.0 headquarters. There's obviously going to be the guest house where Magnum lives, most likely TC's chopper business location and his trailer. My friend, I know for certain she will take over building La Mariana, which is Rick Wright's tiki bar, and actually the last remaining tiki bar on the island. What else? I do want to recreate Tani Ray's house because she's my absolute favorite character from Hawaii 5.0, at least from the females. What else do I plan on building? There's a lot of buildings that I can't even name from the top of my head. I do believe Kamekona's food truck will also be featured. I kind of did a version of it for a shell challenge, but I'm not 100% happy with it, so I will try and recreate it. I will most likely build it in Iolani, and the worlds I'm actually considering putting that save file in are obviously Iolani, as well as Brindleton Bay, because Brindleton Bay is the only other world that's kind of based by the sea, or by the ocean, if you will. So that's what my go-to worlds are for the moment. And Robin's Nest is actually built on the 64 by 64 lot in Brindleton Bay, just because of the size and everything else. And I do believe I was kind of struggling with the size of the house and trying to fit it in properly. But so far, it's so good. I will probably repeat that phrase a couple of times more. And yeah, here's my dilemma with the wall height, because the lower level is on medium wall height currently, just because of that Journey to Batu, what do you call it, arch. I thought it would be perfect for the build, but sadly then everything is disproportionate, nothing works as it should, and I eventually gave up on the idea. Again, back to the kind of save file explanation. I constantly want to say save game, but it's not a save game, it's a save file. I also want to point out that I will do Create a Sim episodes as well. So you will see like Create a Sim episodes where I will do the main Hawaii 5-0 crew, main Magnum P.I crew. Most likely each sim will have their own episode, so I will do only Thomas Magnum in one Create a Sim episode, Juliet Higgins in another, Steve McGarrett in the third, and so on and so forth, just because I want to give each character the attention they deserve, and I want to give them I want to basically have them be all included and not just one character taking the spotlight and overshadowing the others. There are some sims that I have built in the past before I actually started recording and before I started my YouTube channel. So what I will do with them is I will walk you through how I imagine them with their outfits. Tani Ray, for example, is one of those characters. I have built her model sim, I do believe 1.5 or 2 years ago even. And it's just, there's no way I will be able to recreate her in the way she is now, because the way she is now, it took me, I think, 3 or 4 hours to get her where she is. There were a lot of references and reference photos included from Megan Rath, who is actually playing Tani in the show. And yeah, there was just a lot of pausing, just looking whether or not I had her nose right, whether or not I had her eyes right, and it was just a nightmare to create, but I also had fun. And don't consider nightmare as an actual nightmare, it's more under quotation marks, because like I said, I love her character to death and I was really excited to make her. So what I will do is I will just walk you through her outfits in Create a Sim, and they will most likely include my favorite outfits from seasons 8 to 10 when Tani actually appeared, when she was in the show. Now back to our speed build. what you're watching and have been watching me do for the past, I think 5 or 10 minutes is just placing and replacing windows. I was very unsure what windows I wanted to use, just because obviously, again, it's Sims versus real life, and obviously there are certain things that just don't work in The Sims, or they don't exist model-wise and color-wise. It's also just there's a lot of windows. I have never used so many windows. And again, I am using lots and lots of reference images from the Banyan House website. And again, if you want to check them out, the link is in the description. I highly encourage you to do that because you won't regret it one single bit. I actually love the kind of patio area the house itself has over here. It kind of has like these pointily curved roofs that kind of work well with the Oriental style, and I really adore that. I also noticed that they have the same style at the entrance, and then I do believe I will be focusing on the entrance just now. Yes, indeed. The other thing that it's just that just amazes me is how lush the whole, I can't say estate, but it's just the whole house is just so lush and covered in greenery that gives it kind of the privacy. Sadly, the greenery part is in the second part of this kind of mini-series, speed build mini-series, if you will. And yeah, here we go with the roofing. I was actually very worried because I didn't know how the roofing would end out looking. And to my surprise, it actually looked really nice in the end. I just couldn't decide properly on the color as well as the trim. And I don't even usually work with that kind of roof type. I usually use the half-gabled roofs, most of the time at least. And yeah, this was also kind of challenging for me to just try and work my way around and see what would fit the best. And no, I thought I would be going for the actual roof, the glass roof, where I do want to apologize in advance for goofing up the way I did, but using glass roofs is something I'm not usually doing, and I'm kind of in the process of trying to figure out how to best work around them, how to actually utilize them so you don't, so you have these like almost see-through windows that don't cover up the whole area and don't mess up the lighting. But obviously it's Sims again. That's going to be my go-to excuse. It's Sims, and it doesn't always work the way you imagine it to work. This is also one of the problems I had with the roofing. I couldn't figure out how to do the corner properly. And this was me just going on with trial and error, seeing what would be best. And I don't even remember if I decided to leave it the way it is. Probably not. But I wouldn't put it past myself if I just left it at that. This is also a footage. I don't think I mentioned it before. This is a footage from my old gaming PC. That's now, I do believe, a couple of months old as well. So that's why the quality and the frame rate isn't as good as from my current videos. But I was kind of in that urge to start and create the save file, just start and create the Sims that will also be living there. So yeah, it took me a while to actually get to it because there were just so many ideas that I wanted to do first, and I wanted to explore more, and I've been kind of putting off working on this save file for a while now, but it's finally here. I'm finally working on it, and once again, I can't tell you how excited I am that I'm actually going to be doing this with my friend who is definitely on board with this. And with this little piece, I do think we are going on in with the glass roof dilemma. Or maybe even not, I'm not even sure. Like I said, it's been like a couple of months now that I've built this. It's just kind of a walk down memory lane to me watching myself build something so many not years but months ago, and here it is. Here's the glass roof dilemma that I had, and I didn't really know how to properly do it because in the images you have this glass ceiling, glass roofing that you can see through, but obviously it didn't work out the way I wanted, because usually when you have glass roofs you just have like the ceiling isn't included in the view, whether you look for it from the up or the down. And I was just so sad that it didn't work, and I was trying to kind of fix it. I was trying to remove the flooring, the roof, and everything, and it just didn't work the way I wanted to, and I didn't really know how and why. So I just decided to cut it and to leave it and focus on the fencing, which in itself is again a nightmare because the fencing on the top floor of the main portion of the master bedroom is something that's kind of a combination between two fences, and at least two fences in The Sims, and obviously you can't have two different fences. And like looking back at it, I probably could have used fencing from debug and have it be that way, because you have this like railing type on the top, and then the bottom is, I think, solid stone or granite. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, but yeah, I might even do that afterwards once I start working with the build again. Yeah, I'm just adding little bits and pieces over on here because the kind of walkway you see in the middle is lower down. There's water all around as well as greenery. So I raised the entire house on just a little bit of a foundation to have that little kind of step. And I was trying to work my way around with platforms. Obviously that didn't work the way I wanted to, but nothing that isn't easily fixed. Now, as we are ending this video, I do hope you are as excited about it as I am, because this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to bringing you to this incredibly big journey that I intend to undertake. And I hope you're here for the ride. I hope you're here to stay and watch me suffer some more while trying to recreate the most famous and iconic builds from both shows. As per usual, my socials will be linked down in the description. You can also like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And I do believe this is the final touch that I will add to this build. So thank you so much for watching again, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!